12 years ago, I started my first business, and I started with absolutely nothing. I don't just mean I started with no money. I started with no money, no skills, no plans, barely even any ideas. And let's just say that was a tough way to start. It's tough to build something successful when you don't even know what you're trying to build. After working for myself for several years, I finally got around to coming up with a plan. It was messy, it took me forever to write, and honestly, not really that useful as a finished document. But the process of writing the plan allowed me to create a lot of clarity for myself about what my objectives for the business were and how I would reach them. Within the next 2 years, I had more than doubled the size of my business, hiring a staff of 12 people to run it for me and attracting hundreds of new customers. Since that time, I've written quite a few business plans, both for my own companies and for those of my clients. And at this point, I've developed a system to streamline the entire process, not only making it faster and simpler, but also way more useful in a really practical way. If you want to get your business organized and start strategically increasing your profits and growing towards your goals, then keep on watching. This business plan has 6 main sections, and I'd recommend that you start by scribbling your ideas for each on a separate blank piece of paper. Once you get your ideas worked out, you can create one cohesive document. The 6 pages of your business plan are 1. Overview, 2. Message, 3. Marketing, 4. Product, 5. Production and delivery, and finally 6. Goals. The first page of your business plan will be an overview. It's going to give a basic understanding of what your company does and the structure of your company. Now, you're seeing me write it down here in my sloppy, messy handwriting. However, I've typed up a nice, neat version for you to use for yourself. So if you want a copy of that, just check the description down below. It's completely free, and you can use it to write your own business plan. In that first overview page of your business plan, you want to include your business name, your company structure, the location where you do business, and also a brief description of exactly what your company actually does. The next piece of information for your company's overview is your company's mission. And this is really important because it's the driving force behind your business plan. It's what all your plans are focused towards achieving. And if you don't have a mission, it's like trying to make plans to reach a goal without having a goal. So make sure you don't skip this step. The final component of the overview page is your chart of accountability. Now, this chart describes who is accountable for which of the major tasks involved in running the business. And the 3 main areas of accountability in most businesses are marketing and sales, operations, and finances. The second page of your business plan will focus on outlining your company's message. It's really important, if you want your business to be successful, that you have a clear idea of what message you are working to communicate to your customers. Who are those customers? How do you fit into their lives? And how can you help them solve a problem that they're facing and create a result that they're looking for? As you can see here, the questions that you'll want to answer on this page of your business plan include: what problem does your company solve for your customers? What result does your company create for those customers? How does your company create those results? Who does your company serve? Why do you do what you do? Why should your customers choose you over your competition? And then finally, what is your company's step-by-step plan for creating those results for the customer, or what is your proprietary system? This both helps to answer the question, what sets you apart from your competition, and it also shows your customers how you're going to create those results that you're promising, which will give them much greater confidence in your ability to create the results. Okay, now let's move on and talk about the third page of your business plan. This page focuses on marketing and generating sales. First of all, you'll want to define your target market by their demographics and their psychographics. Demographics are attributes such as their age, their income, where they live, whereas psychographics have to do with their interests, their desires, and their fears. Here, you'll also want to include an estimated size of your target market, and even more important than that is where you have identified that you can find groups of those target customers. And here's a little big hint. If you haven't yet figured out where you can find groups of those customers, be it online or off, you're probably going to have trouble successfully marketing your product or service that you sell. So if you come to this part in the business business plan and you don't know what to put here, you're probably going to want to do some research and make sure that this target customer that you have defined with the demographics and the psychographics is someone who you actually can find groups of, because if you can't find a group of them, then you might want to consider redefining that target customer and slightly pivoting your marketing position. The final 3 pieces of information that I recommend you include on this page of your business plan are your visibility strategy, which explains how people will first learn about your brand and about your products, your lead generation strategy, which explains how you will establish contact with the people who have discovered your brand, and then finally your conversion strategy, which is essentially your sales strategy. It explains how you're going to turn those leads that you've generated into paying customers. Here's a quick aside. As you're working through this business plan for yourself, it's more than likely that you won't know the answers to all of these questions and you won't have all these things figured out yet. And I just want to let you know that that is completely all right. And actually, one of the main purposes of writing your business plan is to become aware of those things that you haven't thought about yet, or that you haven't figured out, or that you don't know. Because only once you're aware of what you don't know will you be able to figure those things out. So don't put off writing the business plan because you don't know everything yet, but rather write the business plan so that you can get very clear on exactly what you do know and what you need to figure out. All right, now let's move on to the 4th page of your business plan. This page describes the product or products that you sell. And just so we're clear here, a product could be a physical product or a digital product or a service, but I'm just using the term product in a general sense. On this page, I highly recommend that you choose just one product as your business's primary product. You might sell several different things, you might even sell hundreds of different things, but determine what your main product is that you're going to center your business's marketing message around, and really try to structure your business around selling. The reason that I recommend that you do this is that many different parts of your business development will be much easier if you do have one product that is the focus. On this page of the business plan, start by first of all identifying what that product is, and then describing the result that the product creates. And here's a little hint. What your company sells is really the result that the product creates, not the product itself. After describing the result, describe the impact that the product creates. This is different than the result itself. It's instead how the customer's life is affected by the result that the product creates. For example, if the product that you're selling physically is a vacuum cleaner, then the result that the product creates is clean floors, but the product's impact is that your prospect feels better about the state of their house, has a cleaner, healthier living environment, and perhaps feels more confident inviting company over. Once you've described those 3 things for your main product, you can move on to other products that your company sells, describing first of all what the product is, second, the result that it creates, and finally, the impact that it has on customers' lives. The 6th and final page of your business success plan has to do with your goals. Now, if you've looked at any examples of business plans in the past or read a guide on how to write a business plan, you might have seen a section that focused on projections. So sales projections or new customer acquisition projections or market share projections. And if you've tried to write a business plan in the past and you tried to write that section, you may have found it very difficult. And chances are that's because you're running a small business or maybe you've just started your business. And it's really difficult to make accurate projections, or projections at all for that matter, if you don't have any data to base them on. And that's why I'd recommend that if you are just starting your company or you've only been in business for a couple of years, that instead of trying to create projections, you instead simply set goals. You can decide exactly how long you want to make your goals for, but a good place to start would be to set some 1-year goals and also some 5-year goals. That way you know what you need to work on right now, but you also know where you're aiming longer term. For each time frame, you can set whatever goals you'd like. However, some that I might recommend are number of sales, total revenue, profit, impact in terms of the number of customers who you help or how wide you spread your message, and development, which could be the extent to which you've advanced the product that you create and offer, or to what extent you've built your company. And of course, when setting goals, it's always important to set specific, measurable goals and to set a deadline for when you're planning to reach them by. All right, that's everything you need to include in your business plan. As you can see, it's 6 simple pages, and you probably already know most of the information that will be going into this business plan already. There are many other pieces of information that you may want to include in your business plan, and of course you're more than welcome to. Include any relevant information that describes how you successfully run your business and how you plan to reach your goals. However, my final piece of advice for you is to make sure that you don't overcomplicate things. More words are not better. In fact, your business plan will be the most useful if you keep it short and relatively simple. Because if you write a document that's 20, 40, or more pages long, chances are high that nobody will ever even go back and read it ever again. As I mentioned earlier on, I put a neatly organized outline of this business plan together for you. There's a link in the description below where you can download it for free. If you have any feedback on it, be sure to let me know. I'd recommend that you download it and print it out now, and that you schedule some time on your calendar so that you actually get around to filling it out. Because writing a business plan is one of those things that can have a big long-term impact on your business, but because it isn't actually urgent, you might put it off indefinitely. And until you make the time to write your business plan, your business will continue to be disorganized and not as strategic as it could be. Alright, well that is everything for today's video. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, then please hit that like button to let me know, and also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I make 2 videos here every single week about entrepreneurship, success, and personal development, and if you like this video, then you won't want to miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Gillian Perkins, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.